Imagine a place where children are not allowed to cry. Imagine a place where men are not allowed to sleep in their own houses. Imagine a place where women are forcibly assigned husbands. Imagine a place where mothers are forced to watch as their 12-year-old daughters are raped.
Tulikuwa tu kwa hesabu, mtu ukikaa tu unaovia tu utachinjwa leo ama kesho. Yaani maisha tulikuwa tumewachia Mungu.
Imagine a place where children are not allowed to cry. Imagine a place where men are not allowed to sleep in their own houses.
Wazee walikuwa wamefukuzwa, ilikuwa imefika mahali wanasema mzee hawezi lala kwa nyumba. Wapike kati nje. Sisi hatuwezi lala msituni na nyinyi mnalala kwa nyumba.
Imagine a place where women are forcibly assigned husbands.
Kwa upande wangu sijaripiwa, bali nilipewa tu Bwana. Nilipewa, lakini sikuripiwa.
Imagine a place where people who talk too much have their lips sealed with a padlock. A place where those who defy orders have their ears cut off. Imagine a place where mothers are forced to watch as their 12-year-old daughters are raped.
Sasa mwenye alikuwa kwa mlanga amesimama tu hivi mguu na mtoto akataka kupitia kwa miguu yake ila atoroke. Na mimi wamenisimamisha pale nje. Huyo vile mtoto anaingiza tu kichwa hivi akafinya hivi. Na mtoto anaanguka chini. Kuanguka chini na mmoja akasema haya. Kasi ile iko. Toa huyo mtoto amevaa suruali toeni yeye. Ati ni msichana. Mwingine akampapasa tu akasema ndio. Ati haya ansie kasi.
Imagine a place where every Wednesday, women are rounded up and taken to the forest to be raped. A place where death can come in the twinkling of an eye.
Nikaona kisu. Alafu wakamaliza kuchinja kumaliza. Wakichinja mtu alikuwa analamba damu.
Yet this is no place in the imagination. Until 10th March 2008, this place was Mount Elgon District, a place in the grip of such terror that even animals were not spared. Colonel Stephen Boywa is the commander of the Army's 2nd Brigade, brought in to reinforce the Okoa Maisha operation in Mount Elgon.
Actually, what you are seeing behind me was a big shopping center. There were shops on both sides of the road. Right now, you cannot see even a single one. I think there are only 2 remaining walls of what used to be shops here. Completely, it was flattened. And they banned everything. And it is not only this shopping center, several others.
The path to Kubura Primary School is overgrown with grass from lack of use. The buildings have been plundered. The desks are stacked like firewood. Inside the staff room, new textbooks lie strewn all over the floor. unpleasant history has been erased. It is one of 17 schools closed in the wake of violence in Mount Elgon. Mount Elgon has not always been a place of conflict. Hemmed in by Trans Nzoia District to the east, Bungoma District to the south, and Uganda to the west, Mount Elgon District has fertile volcanic soil and a steady rainfall pattern that supports maize and vegetable farming. Its population of 150,000 people is managed through 4 administrative divisions: Cheptais, Kopsiro, Kapsokwonyi, and Kaptama. In Kopsiro Division is the Chebyuk Settlement Scheme, the crucible of the land conflict in the district. After settling 370 members of the Ndorobo community in the first phase of the Chebyuk scheme in 1965, the government again carved out land to settle more people 22 years later. In the third phase of the scheme, 7,000 people who had been allowed to live on government land without title were shortlisted for allocation, but there were only 1,732 plots, each measuring 2.5 acres. One man who had illegally allocated himself 200 acres of government land refused to take part in the vetting designed to establish deserving cases. Wycliffe Matwakei Kirui Komon, on rejection of the vetting exercise, drew a band of young men around him and, with the support of a Sabaot cultural leader known as a Laibon, formed a gang that would become the self-styled Sabaot Land Defense Force.
Na sisi pia tumeamua tuuze ng'ombe zetu, sisi na tununue magari zetu.
They began evicting those who had been allocated land in Chebyuk Phase 3. Initially, the militia received the reluctant or forced support of the community, as Beatrice Chemengo, a businesswoman and farmer in Cheptais Division, recalls.
Eneo mwanzo walikuwa wanatetea mashamba, lakini wakafika mahali wakakosa mwelekeo, wakaachana na mambo ya mashamba na wakaanza mambo ya unyang'anyi, mambo ya uuaji, mpaka hata tukashindwa sasa hii ni kutetea shamba ama ni wizi na uuaji. Kwa sababu walifika mahali kabisa sasa wakaingilia bibi na bwana wakigombana kwa nyumba, hao ndio wanafanya hiyo kesi. Jirani mkisumbuana kwa mpaka wa shamba, sasa ni hao.
Men were forcibly recruited into the militia. Kelvin Jeffrey Chepkurui, Fred Jumba alias Mwala, Raphael Ndiema Chemia were all forcibly conscripted into the militia. Many others were kidnapped and conscripted into Matwakei's rapidly growing gang of unwilling but terrified soldiers. Slowly, an oppressive air began to descend on the entire district as Matwakei tightened his grip on the force. The men are believed to have taken an oath administered by the Laibon.
I think all things must have taken place, but I did not see it. But I want to say it must have, because when you look at what some people were doing, like you just because somebody who's just all right, all of a sudden becomes almost like a lion one.
Nafikiri vijana hawa kwa sababu ya hii mtu anaitwa Laibon ni kama aliwapatia dawa ambayo walikula kiapo na ikawaleweza. So walikuwa wajali chochote kwa sababu awe mama yake, awe baba yake anamuoa, awe mama yake anaweza kunajizi. Na imefanyika hivyo.
Kwa sababu mtu anakuwa wild, hata huwezi cheza na yeye. Anakuwa wild.
The effect of the oath did not escape the keen eye of Salome Chepkirui Ndiwa Matwakei.
Kwa sababu kwa hakika hii mzee amewalisha watoto kiapo ambaye hata haistahili katika dunia hii. Kwa sababu ungeona mtu angekuchinja bila kushutuka. Hata mimi nilipikwa na bwana yangu mpaka akanifunja. Naja nipika tangu tuone. Lakini juzi alinipika nusu ya kifo mpaka mkono kukafanya nini kukafunjika. Hapo nikawaza, hata hapo ndio nilijua kwamba Wycliffe Matwakei maisha yake hayatakuwa marefu kwa ajili sasa pengine ni mwenda simu, sio Wycliffe wa kawaida.
Police spokesman Eric Kiraithe believes that however genuine their grievances might have been, Matwakei and his gang chose a path fraught with peril, and they were doomed to fail.
The people of Mount Elgon now have seen what happens when people attempt to solve otherwise legitimate grievances. The grievances on the land, we are very sure, are legitimate. The nucleus is an attempt to solve legitimate grievances using illegitimate means.
By March 29, 2007, some 45,720 people had been displaced and another 94 killed in the violence. Residents of the 3 locations had been turned from proud farmers and workers into exiles who depended on relief food, not knowing what daybreak or nightfall would bring. On April 23, 2007, 6 men were flushed out of their houses, their hands tied with ropes, stood in the middle of the Kinyoro-Kisawai Road in Trans Nzoia District, and shot dead. 12 days later, another 9 people who had fled Mount Elgon were shot dead in Matisi in neighboring Trans Nzoia District. Matwake's group hunted them down. After taking the oath, no one was allowed to quit the force. A special team of police officers was sent to the area, but the residents had already been terrified into silence. On May 31, 2007, 2 General Service Unit officers were killed as they investigated leaflets warning of trouble on Madaraka Day. The militia had started to slowly cut off the flow of information, as Evelyn Chemachep Karam remembers.
Mimi ni jirani na askari ya kambi, lakini ilikuwa uwezi enda kwa askari hata ukasema neno ama askari akuja kama mimi nakamua ng'ombe ati akuja anue maziwa kwangu. Siku hiyo uwezi lala, utachinjwa.
Faith Chepkwonyi's husband was kidnapped and taken to the forest.
Msango alichukuliwa last year mwezi wa 8 tarehe 20. Na akaenda akakaishwa siku 2 ndio akachinjwa.
Wazee ambao walikuwa watu 5, familia watu 12. Hao walionekana, lakini kijana yangu mpaka sasa haonekani.
Soon the local government officials were cut off the much-needed flow of critical information that could have assisted law enforcement officials combat the menace caused by Matwake's ruthless gang. Peter Keen Kiboy, the acting chief of Kapkaten, testifies.
Administration wakati hao walikuwa wanatafuta watu kuua, hatukuwa spared. Sisi pia walikuwa najua sisi ndio the source of the information kwa government. Wakaona kwamba hata sisi pia tutimuliwe, sababu tulitishwa wengi kabisa. Hata mpaka sasa chiefs wengi bado wana reside from outside the locations, kwa sababu pia walitishwa na wakaambiwa hatutaki watu wa serikali hapa.
Kiboy was present when the chief of Kapkaten location was killed on October 26, 2007.
So ikaonekana chief amekufa. So kwenda kumuona amepigwa risasi nyingi sana kwa mkongo. Mpaka hata mishipi ilikuwa imekatika, nguo za serikali, alikuwa na hii ceremonial.
Chief Sonit was the second administration official to lose his life at the hands of the militia. Assistant Chief Shem Cherowo had been killed by the same militia months earlier. As local administrators, from village headmen to chiefs, either fled or were rendered powerless by forbidding residents to speak to them, the militia's extortion, taxation, and mutilation regime quickly took root. They set up a parallel government.
Nao wakatoa sheria kabisa kama ya serikali. Kulikuweko na machairmans wenye walikuwa wanasimamia hiyo gang.
The militia became so brazen that they would roam the villages in broad daylight, demanding taxes and taking away defaulters and other perceived transgressors.
I witnessed this one teacher that was kidnapped, and as we are talking right now, he's nowhere to be seen. We don't know whether he's dead or what.
We constructed a bridge here, just a makeshift bridge, and then they confused that we were making the bridge to make the security come in so fast, and so we were supposed to have even been fined. So for all that time we have been very uneasy with them.
Kangaroo courts were set up in the forest to try all sorts of cases. They gave their verdicts. Now Beatrice Chemengo gives hers.
So unajua anayetoa uamuzi huko si justice mwenye amesomea sheria. Unaona, ilikuwa ni unyama, ni dhuluma kabisa.
Irene Kaboy's ear was cut off by her own nephew. Alice Chemos Yongok also lost her ear.
Alafu mwingine akasema chinja masikio.
Benjamin Niuno Tachoni too knew the experience firsthand.
Na alikata kwa sababu nilikataa kutoa ile registration fee, yani ile pesa walikuwa wanahitaji shilingi 200.
In Kapkaten location alone, 23 people have reported having their ears cut off for allegedly being drunk, lateness in remitting their taxes, or leaving their homes for unknown destinations. More chilling summons were issued and frightful forest trials held. Unspeakable crimes were committed. Every Wednesday, women would be rounded up and taken to the mountain. Some never returned. The survivors deserve privacy and protection. Faith Chepkwonyi spotlights the horror of what used to happen.
Hata chief hakuwa na say, assistant chief hakuwa na say. Sasa kitu kilioko walikuwa tu wanakuja, ikiwa ni mimi sasa mimi nimekupenda na kuambia tu leo. Na ni hapo hata saa zingine hawakuwa wanaenda na wengine huko juu, kwa sababu wale walikuwa wanaenda huko juu maybe kama walikuwa wanarepiwa na kuchinjwa, hawakuwa wanarudi. Lakini sasa kuna wale walikuwa wanafanyika tu vituko kama hivyo, lakini wakiwa tuko maboma zao.
Jane, whose identity has been altered in this documentary, was attacked, robbed, threatened with rape, and ultimately forced to watch helplessly as her 12-year-old was defiled by the militia.
Nikanyamaza nikasema simunisamee jameni, ati toa nguo na ulale chini. Alafu mmoja akasema usiende Cheptais. Ukienda Cheptais tutakufuata. Hospitali ya Cheptais tutakufuata na ujue hiyo siku wewe tutakuchinja.
On December 31st, 2007, at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Evelyn Chemachep Karam, who lives on the edge of the Mount Elgon forest in Kimama, saw her neighbors being marched into the forest.
Punde tu kidogo naona watu wanaanza kupita. Wamefungwa makono. Wanapandisa. Ingawaje uoga ilinifanya. Bila niliona huyo mzee Jackson Mafura. Nirika ya baba yangu alikuwa ananipenda sana. Nikashutuka. Na mama ya kwake, na kijana yake, na wanawake ya Tawaya, na bibi ya kijana yake ya huyo mzee. Nikashutuka sana. Si kuhesabu walikuwa wangapi. Lakini kesho yake mimi nasikia hao watu wote walichinja. Na wenye walikuwa wanajidai ni wale watu walichinja hao watu. Vijana wenye walichinja hao watu.
This 16-year-old girl, Nasimiu, was in the group that was frog-marched into the forest. With a lost gaze in her eyes, she recalls what she saw.
Ilikuwa wamechimba kila mtu shimo lake. So shangazi yangu wakaanza kumpanga na mama yangu mwingine na ndugu ya baba mwenye alioa shangazi yangu. Wakaanza kuchipanga kwa hiyo shimo. Wakasema wewe msichana weka hapa ukingoja huyo mama. Alafu mimi nikakaa wakachinja wakamaliza. Kichinja mtu alikuwa analamba damu.
Dickson Simiu Wanyonyi had watched his relatives killed.
Sasa nikiwa nikiangalia wenzangu, babu, ndugu zangu, babangu wadogo wamekufa. Sasa mimi nikasema hii kifo ya kuchinjwa ama kukatwa sitaweza. Ni heri ni hepe. Ikiwezekana nikimbia hata kama ni risasi wanishtua, lakini sitaweza mambo haya. Wakati nilikuwa nimejaribu kukimbia walikuwa wamefunga hizi mkono. Wakati nilikuwa nakimbia kamba ikanishika akata mkono. Eti ndio nifanyeje tena, ndio wataka warudishe panga, nikaroll nikaanguka kwa maji. Nilianguka kwa maji. Wakaona huyu mtu ameishiwa na nguvu kwa sababu walikuwa wamenipiga ile ya kutosha, wakasema wakatumanisha tu watu wachache waje wanitoe pale niende nichinjwe. Lakini sasa hawakuweza. Kidogo nikajikaza tu na mkono mmoja huu ukiwa hivi, nikashika kamba ngambo hivi. Nikavukia hiyo kamba. Kufika ngambo nikafuata tu forest.
As he fled, fate intervened for those left behind. The survivors recount of an order issued by an unknown person that enough people had been killed and the remaining 2 members of the family should be spared. As Matwake's force grew in size, so did its ruthlessness and brutality. Everybody was being watched, as the militia had established cells all over the areas they controlled. Francis Maiwa Naktar had been forcibly appointed chairman of his village.
Baadaye wakaniambia nichinje watu masikio ya kukunywa pombe, ati nipatie vijana wachinje. Ndio mimi nikakataa maneno. Sasa ninaweza chinjaje mtu?
For his conscientiousness, he received a chilling letter. Then he was summoned to the court in the forest.
Basi nikaulizwa hiyo maswali. Kila swali na kiboko 30.
Although Naktar's life was spared, it was at a price. A 6-inch nail was hammered into his backside. Neither he nor the other victims of the mutilations could seek medical help. It was strictly forbidden.
Yani uwezo kanyaga hospitali ama tulikuwa tunajitibu tu, yani kienyeji, na hata wataki mwenye kienyeji mwenye anakutibu lazima anakuletea dawa hiyo, mwenyewe unajitibu usiku.
On March 3, 2008, members of the Sabaot Land Defense Force attacked Embakasi village. They burned 10 houses and killed 13 people, among them children aged between 3 months and 10 years. With Matwake's gang growing in confidence and the atrocities, murder, plunder spreading fast beyond and over 613 people killed, calls for a heavy, unambiguous reaction from government were unmistakable. It was time.
The Commissioner of Police is the principal internal security agent, so to speak. But he has all these resources through the proper government procedures to gain recourse, to ask for assistance from the military, to ask for enforcement.
On March 10, 2008, a joint operation force comprising the Army, the General Service Unit, and the Administration Police arrived in Mount Elgon, a forested terrain with shocking logistical challenges. Colonel Stephen Boywa, 2nd Brigade Commander, led the Army's reinforcement for the operation.
Our first targets were the caves. There was a cave in the forest. We knew they were training, and a training camp called Kamasat and Jeburbur Cave. Those are our first targets.
The operation has had its challenges. Colonel Boywa candidly acknowledges some of them.
They got wind that we were coming. And so where we expected to find them, we never found them. They had moved deeper into the forest. And those in the villages have moved to adjacent villages.
Although fear had ruled the lives of the residents for a long time, the joint force is fast winning public confidence.
I would say terror. The repercussions or what they used to do to those people they suspect were giving away information was, I can say, terrible. They killed, they chopped ears, they tortured, and they even raped. They do all sorts of things you cannot believe.
That turnaround is what has yielded results in such a short time.
That's why in the first 3 days, we only managed to arrest 72. But the 4th day, we did a cordon and search around Jeptais. We rounded up 710 male adults. And at the end of the day, we were able to single out 104 SDLF suspects.
In spite of the initial success, 40 days later, the gang leaders stay a step ahead of the military operation. Tracking Matokwe's gang through the caves and forested mountain is proving to be no easy task. But 2 months after the start of the joint operation, Wycliffe Common Matoke is cornered and killed deep inside Mount Elgon Forest as he engaged with the joint operation force in a shootout.
Kweli niliidentify ya kwamba yeye ni Wycliffe Matoke kwa sababu ya alama yake aliyokuwa nayo kichwani.
Only 3 days before his death, his widow had unsuccessfully appealed to him to surrender.
Nikimuomba tu kwa roho ya unyenyekevu ya kwamba ni sharti ujisalamishe kwa jeshi iliyopo kwa sababu nimeona hata maisha ya msituni hautaiweza.
Cheptais was chock-a-block with people who flocked the center to confirm that indeed the man whose name could only be mentioned in whispers, Wycliffe Matoke, had been killed. As members of the militia continue to turn themselves in, the police are clear about the task ahead.
We must hold those people accountable for their criminal acts.
How does the Joint Forces assess its conduct on this operation? Colonel Boywo says,
We've done our job professionally, and we've not answered to those, because at the end of the day, the truth will prevail.
We have the code of conduct, we have international practice which guides the conduct of operations like these ones. And we know that we are within the international standards of dealing with a situation similar to ours. If you took time off to study similar situations elsewhere in the world, you will know that we are actually very lenient. This operation has been very lenient, but also it has been so well planned that so far the military, the security forces have not suffered any casualties.
For the armed forces, the lessons from this operation are being put to immediate use.
If we improve on our security along the border, and especially now that we've decided to put up a military base here in Mount Elgon, we will use that to train in Mount Elgon Forest. And I believe once we utilize the forest for training, nobody will have the freedom of utilizing that forest again.
A lush green is beginning to wash over the blood that has been spilt on Mount Elgon in the past 2 years. The farms are coming alive again, and the people, once banned from seeking medical attention, are trooping to the health centers again.
Gina.
Major Dr. Michael Wakaba has been heading the medical aid team in the Mount Elgon area.
I have a team of 63 people headed by a surgeon who runs the theater at our base camp located at Marakisi. The diseases differ among the various people. For example, women, we were treating a lot of venereal diseases, some aspects of claims of rape which were untreated for months, gonorrhea, syphilis, all those kind of venereal diseases.
Besides restoring security and health, the military has also embarked on several missions of mercy. The entire region is being opened up. The residents are fulsome in their praise.
Hata saa hii mtu ukikaa, hata ukilala mlango wazi utalala mpaka ipambasuke kwa sababu tunaona serikali hii.
Saa hii sasa ndio tunaona raha sasa na mwanamke yako. Naongea sasa kama kawaida sasa. Tuko safi.
Hata watu wameanza kurudi kwa poma kwa sababu watu walikuwa wametoroka kwa area.
Hawa wanajeshi tangu waingie, huwa wanalenga mtu mwenye wanataka. Mtu kama hauna makosa hawashughuliki na wewe. Hawa wanajeshi tangu waanze operation yao hasa sana hapa town, hawajaibia mtu.
And hoping, praying that their nightmare is not about to recur.
The operation shall continue as long as it takes, and even the investigation shall continue as long as it takes. Prosecution shall continue as long as it takes, until justice is seen to be done.
Life is returning to Mount Elgon. One by one, people are trickling back to their homes to revive the once desolate farms. There is a stubborn resilience in their faces and a stony enduring of pain and loss, but they seem determined to get back their lives. It is sunset in Cheptais town. 3 days after the display of Matokei's body, it is a confident, relieved, yet still a limping town. The residents of Cheptais closed the day heading to sleep at the foot of Kenya's second highest mountain, an impressive extinct volcanic mountain whose last unnatural eruption has gone quiet, but left in its wake chilling scars and pain that the residents have silently borne for the last 18 months. They don't say it loudly, but it's written all over their walk, the tone of their voices. While popular opinion may point a return to a normal life, the people of Mount Elgon know a bitter truth: that the real work of healing this community and reintegrating it back into the rest of Kenya's society is, however, just beginning. In 2008, this place was Mount Elgon District, a place in the grip of such terror that even animals were not spared. Colonel Stephen Boywa is the commander of the Army's 2nd Brigade, brought in to reinforce the Okoa Maisha operation in Mount Elgon.
Actually, what you are seeing behind me was a big shopping center. There were shops on both sides of the road. Right now, you cannot see even a single one. I think there are only 2 remaining walls of what used to be shops here. Completely, it was flattened. And they banned everything. And it is not only this shopping center, several others.
The path to Kubura Primary School is overgrown with grass from lack of forced to watch as their 12-year-old daughters are raped.
Sasa mwenye alikuwa kwa mlanga amesimama tu hivi mguu na mtoto akataka kupitia kwa miguu yake ila atoroke, na mimi wamenisimamisha pale nje. Huyo vile mtoto anaingiza tu kichwa hivi akafinya hivi na mtoto anaanguka chini. Kuanguka chini na mmoja akasema, haya kasi ile iko toa huyo mtoto amevaa suruali, toeni yeye. Ati ni msichana. Mwingine akampapasa tu akasema ndio. Ati haya ansie kasi.
Imagine a place where every Wednesday women are rounded up and taken to the forest to be raped. A place where death can come in the twinkling of an eye.
Nikaona kisu. Alafu wakamaliza kuchinja, kumaliza. Wakichinja mtu alikuwa analamba damu.
Yet this is no place in the imagination. Until 10th March 2000.
Ilikuwa tu kwa hesabu. Mtu ukikaa tu una
Imagine a place where children are not allowed to cry. Imagine a place where men are not allowed to sleep in their own houses. Imagine a place where women are forcibly assigned husbands. Imagine a place where mothers are forced to watch as their 12-year-old daughters are raped.
Naovia tu utachinjwa leo ama kesho. Yaani maisha tulikuwa tumewachia Mungu.
Imagine a place where children are not allowed to cry. Imagine a place where men are not allowed to sleep in their own houses.
Wazee walikuwa wamefukuzwa, ilikuwa imefika mahali wanasema mzee hawezi lala kwa nyumba. Wapike kati nje. Sisi hatuwezi lala msituni na nyinyi mnalala kwa nyumba.
Imagine a place where women are forcibly assigned husbands.
Kwa upande wangu sijaripiwa, bali nilipewa tu Bwana. Nilipewa, lakini sikuripiwa.
Imagine a place where people who talk too much have their lips sealed with a padlock. A place where those who defy orders have their ears cut off. Imagine a place where mothers